having a full-on moment, and I know shit. Michael's going to be here soon. I'm having a full-on moment where it's like one of two things could be true. Either I have completely lost my mind, or I might be a channeler. I might be a little bit psychic. And I was just, fuck. So I was just talking with my, shit, get it together. I was on Facebook and I was talking about synchronicities. I can't even remember what the fuck it was about. Gee, I was just talking with Tony DePalma. She's a creative person and she's directed. She's a director and writer that I know on Facebook, and we were talking about synchronicities. And then she's like, "Well, I said when she said something about context." Okay, the context I just realized is super, super important. So yesterday was June 20th, and up came the memory of when I went on Facebook and said, I heard the voice of God speak to me through the movie Avatar. So it was June 20th of 2022. I was watching Avatar, and I felt the voice of God or something speak to me through Avatar. Like when Jake Sully opened his eyes at the end, I heard a voice say, ask. That's all it said, is just ask. One word. But what I heard was, ask what you want from the universe. That's what I heard. Like, again, just the word was ask. What the intention was, ask what you want from the universe. And I said, well, I want a sign that things are going to get better. And as soon as I did that, my phone dinged. Literally, as soon as I said, I want a sign that things are going to get better, I heard it ding. It was an email to an interview. And it was, I didn't end up getting that job because, I got fired for speaking up about anti-black racism. But if I hadn't got fired, I would have got that job. I didn't get that for that interview, but I was actively getting into that spot. I was talking with the managers in a couple of locations. I'd interviewed a few times, and I was going to get there. Anyway, the point for this story is I asked, and literally I said, give me a sign, and it came like that. And what I found, and it's annoying, is almost every single time I ask for a sign, I get one. Every single fucking time. But again, how do you know if that's because you've just gone crazy and you're seeing signs where they don't exist, or if you're actually being given signs? I can't fucking tell. But something just happened I can't ignore. Can't ignore because it just fucking happened, and it just happened on Facebook so everyone can see the timeline. I posted the video of me going up saying, hey, I just think I talked to the voice of God through the television. And in the post I said, maybe nobody checked me on whether or not I was mentally ill. Nobody did that. Maybe because maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. And it was on that video where I said, I thought I heard the voice of God. Tony DePalma was talking about, we started talking about synchronicities and Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way, and she said how The Artist's Way had helped change her life. And then she brought up the name, she just said, actually she did. She brought up the name Abraham Hicks. And she said, maybe you should look into Abraham Hicks and manifestation. I'm like, okay, I've never heard the name Abraham Hicks, so I will Google search whoever he is. That's what I thought at the time. And then a few minutes later, one of my best friends, Sharon, came up and said, Joseph, haven't we talked about Abraham Hicks? I thought we have. And I'm like, no, we've never talked about Abraham Hicks. I have no idea who he is, but I'll take this as a synchronicity that there's, someone that I know on Facebook says something, and then one of my closest friends says something. So on the same day, and to be clear, this is the part that I'm still kind of struggling with, is I put up a Facebook video saying, I think I heard the voice of God, And instead of people saying, Joe, it's okay, you're going to get better, people have said, how do you know you didn't? How do I know that I didn't actually hear the voice of God? I don't know. I don't know if what I'm saying is because I actually can channel and hear things. Maybe it's because I am a little bit psychic. Or maybe I have just completely lost my mind. And so is everyone else around me. And I don't know how to tell the difference. But what the voices are saying when I'm like, I don't know how to tell the difference. All I hear is just listen. So for me, I can't believe I'm going to say this. If I can channel or get direction from somewhere, calm, relax, be easy. Anyway, the reason I'm making this video is not because I just randomly thought that I might be a little bit psychic or whatever, but I'd never heard of Abraham Hicks before, and then I Google searched who he was, realized that it was not a person, it was a channeler. And the fact that a couple of people that I know referenced two channelers, there's Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks, and someone else that they they mentioned as a channeler. And I'm like, well, I haven't told anyone. I haven't even fucking told Michael that I think I might be psychic. I've told no one because it's fucking ridiculous. I'm not, like I just told Sharon, I'm trying to convince people I'm not crazy. And if I come forward saying, you know what, I think the voices in my head were actually real and now I can channel, that's not going to convince people that I'm not fucking crazy. Jesus. But I can't ignore what just happened. So I'm watching Abraham, whatever. So from the 5 minutes of research, and that's why I wanted to record this now before I do any more research so it's not tainted. I'm going to watch the rest of the video that may be running here in a couple seconds, but I stopped about 30 seconds into it because I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Esther Hicks was talking about the nature of reality, and it is exactly the same message that I was given. Like when I was having Kesha released a song called Eat the Acid. It's like, you don't want to eat the acid. You said don't ever eat the acid if you don't want to be changed like it changed me. You said, anyway, something like that. I didn't do acid. I did do DMT. When I knew that I lost my mind back in January, there are ways to get DMT legally in Canada. I did that and I had an experience. And I have not talked a lot about that experience because, again, I don't know, like, here's one thing I can say. When the DMT hit me, it felt like I became aware of what is real and what is delusion. Now that's tricky, right? Because if you take a psychedelic and now you're convinced that you now can tell reality better than before, there's a leap in logic there that is not, I don't know if it's completely scientific. I don't think so. Like, how can I tell if my experience was real? Now, I can tell that it's real because it happened. I experienced it. I have memories of it. And the memories that I have of what was told to me. So like the message that I got during that experience seems to be exactly the same message that was given to someone I've never met who is a channeler. And the way that she sees the world and is describing it, it's like, oh my God, that's exactly what was shown to me. I do not want to be a fucking channeler. That is not in my career path. Nope. But again, when I was I started watching the video, and I literally got 30 seconds in, I leaped up and said, "Are you fucking kidding me? Why is the universe sending me information about channelers? For people that don't know, I think I might be one. What the fuck? That is not something within my control." Like if I had gone to all my friends and said, "Hey, I think I might be a channeler," and then they sent me information, that I could say, well, it's not a, that's just a coincidence. Like I literally have told, I've not even spoken those words. I don't think I've even done it on camera yet. I can double check, but it's Wednesday the 21st. I think I thought it was a little bit psychic before, but now I think, fuck. I had that thought, like, as soon as I started seeing that what Esther Hicks or Abraham Hicks was saying was identical to what was told to me, I jumped out of my chair and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" That's why I jumped up, like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I don't want to be a channeler." And I said to the voices, whatever, like, "Why the hell would I want to be a channeler?" And the soft voice said, "Because you can." That's it. Because I can't do it. But, and what I just said to Sharon, I said, "You know what? Sorry, voices. I have a lot of stuff to do in the world, and they're all in the physical world right now. I'm going to focus on what is physical. I can never, maybe that's it. Maybe I will never be able to prove to anyone, maybe not even myself, if I am a channeler or if I've just lost my mind. But what I can do is focus on the physical world. That's science. I need to focus on science because that's provable. But I also realize I'm going to have to include this in the fucking documentary. Just maybe, maybe it's just the importance of who you're surrounding yourself with. Like I've surrounded myself with people that are highly spiritual and highly intuitive. So of course, when I say I think I've heard the voice of God, the response is going to go to, well, they believe in God, they believe in spirituality, so therefore it's probably true, Joe. Maybe you did hear the voice of God. If I was surrounding myself with scientists, they might say, "Have you been checked for chemical imbalances?" It's, from what I'm learning, there's not a clear line between religiosity and delusion. Meaning there's no clear indicator of this person is just a religious person and this person is just crazy. Because if you believe something really, really crazy, but just say it's your religion, that's socially acceptable. I don't want to be a channeler, but I'm looking at what the fuck am I doing right now. I have the voices in my head told me to do things and directed my life in a certain way, and I did that. The voices in my head gave me the term alien brain fog. Literally, I was just sitting there one day, and the voice in my head said, "Alien brain fog." And I was like, "What the fuck is that? What the fuck is alien brain fog?" And it was, "You'll see." I'm like, "Thanks, that's fucking helpful. That's fucking helpful." So at the time, I had the name alien brain fog, which I was like, boom. Okay, let's go with that. Oh my God. Here's a thought. What if that's all that creative people are? It's just a different way of channeling. Because you'll hear that often from people say, "Oh, I didn't write the song, it was a gift." Or I don't know where this novel came from, it was just like, boom. Like we're tapping into something. And if you are a creative person, you'll know that. You don't even have to be a creative person. You just try this. Like when you start singing your favorite song, you'll feel something take over you. And it's not quantifiable. Especially if you're singing with people that you love, or if you're like singing together and you're all sad at the same time. That that guy on there's a guy on Instagram, he's a TV writer. I think he worked on King of the Hill, and he keeps talking about the real power of film is just getting people to all feel the same thing at the same time. And the way that you do that is you connect to it. Like, everyone can feel certain things, but if you can make them connect to that feeling at the same time, and you bring people together, that's the connection. What if all that channeling is just you're connected to something else that's not you? It kind of seems like that's what actors do, is they take on the energy of someone else, and it's kind of like channeling. And is it the same thing as channeling, or am I just trying to diminish that I might be able to talk to non-human entities? Because for most of my life, I've had that thing where I've said, well, everyone's a little bit psychic, right? Like, I've always said that everyone's a little bit psychic. You know, everyone has things like this happen to them. And it kind of feels like me saying, well, everyone's a little, like, there's this thing in the gay community where people say, well, everyone's a little bit gay. If you ever heard of someone say, everyone's a little bit gay, it probably means they're either gay or bisexual, or somewhere in there. Because what they're actually saying is, well, I'm a little bit gay, and that's normal, right? So everyone is. And what you're actually doing is diminishing your individuality and your specialness. Because again, spectrum, but if we're talking the spectrum of, like, if we're doing like super, super gay, super, super straight, there's a spectrum between them. I think I just said specter, didn't I? There's a spectrum between them. God. Just double checking that there's no specter behind me, because that would be sorry. There's a double. It's a spectrum. But it's not. I don't think it's evenly distributed. I don't think everyone, like, there's super straight. There's only one person that's super straight. There's one person that's super gay. I think the distribution is probably different than that.